Hi there, Aaron here from howtosing.com, and I want to talk to you about how to increase your vocal range. I want to tell you a quick little story about something that happened to me when I was 17. I was singing back then. I was traveling with a choral singing group. You kind of sing solos and we danced and all that stuff. It was fun, and I was kind of the younger one of the group, and there were different kind of solos that you can sing, and there were obviously some that were more coveted than others, that were harder, and it was more like the crowd would cheer more. So there was this certain solo that I really wanted. It was kind of the hardest solo, but I didn't get it for the first several performances, maybe the first several months, but eventually it was given to me, so I was really excited. So I was practicing it. It felt a little out of my range, but I just thought I'll just belt out the note and it'll be fine on that note. Everything else was pretty easy. It was really just this one note, and I just thought I'll just kind of give it the force and it'll be fine. So it came to that day, and I had a duet partner. It was a kind of a guy-girl thing, and so the music director's up front and the whole audience and everything, and so everything's going fine. I'm singing my part, and when it got to that note, I was like, I just belted out. And it was this. I didn't hit the note. It came out of this kind of squawky sound. And at the time, I didn't know this, but it was because of what I'm going to kind of talk to you about for a second. It wasn't my finest hour. I learned that you can't push, you can't force notes. It's not healthy for your voice, and you probably won't hit the note to begin with. So that's my first caution about expanding your range: is don't just belt it out or push or strain, all that stuff. All that's going to do is maybe make you look silly, but certainly it's over a very short period of time, it's just going to be bad for your voice and strain your voice, and eventually even probably cause damage. The deal with the voice, let me just say what happened in that particular instance. And when you push to try to get a note, your vocal cords, they zip up as you get higher and higher and higher and higher and higher in your range. What happens is your two vocal cords, they stretch and they elongate and they get thinner. And so what happens when you try and belt out a higher note, you've got less space to go through, and the cords are thinner. So when they're thicker, it's easier for them to hold together. But when they're thinner and stretched out, when you get up top there, it's like really tight. So when you're blowing, when you try to push, you're forcing too much air through that, and it just goes, and they just blow right open. And that's the sound of that falsetto sound. That's why it's so airy. It blows it's too much air for your vocal cords to hold together. So that's not what you want to do. Although falsetto, a lot of people use falsetto as kind of a stylistic device, and I think it could be really cool in the right context. But what you really want is you want those rich, heavy, nice big full tones up in the top of your range, and that's in your head voice. So the real way to sing high notes is to develop a mix. A mix, or a mixed voice, a blended voice. What that basically means is it's a voice, it's blending between your chest register. When you talk, you normally speak out of your chest voice. You can feel your chest resonate when you do that. And your head voice, your head voice is up there. So you want to blend. Most people have kind of breaks or cracks, or it's really just a transition or a bridge in between those two breaks. And the idea is to smooth out that bridge so you have one big, long, blended voice. So you want to be like, ooh, one big blend. You don't want it to be like, ooh, to break or crack right there. So how do you do that? I want to give you one exercise to do that. There are a lot of ways to do that, but just in this short video, I want to give you one exercise to begin helping you with your higher range, to extend your actual range itself. This will help with that, and it will also start smoothing out the breaks in between smooth out the break in between your chest and your head voice. I call it just the hootie slide, because it's like a hoo. It's like a kind of a under there, but it's a whoo sound. And the reason it's this sound is because that sound will help keep your larynx steady, rather than a lot of times your larynx will raise up when you're trying to sing high notes, and that's what that narrows the wind passage there. So that's why you get so much tension. It's hard to hit those higher notes. So this slide will be like ooh. Almost like a siren. Ooh. woo. So just, that's something that you can do throughout the day. You can do for several minutes at a time, and what that will begin to do is it'll begin to expand your range and kind of smooth out those transitions. Like I said, I'm on howtosing.com, and I've got a ton of tips and tricks and articles and all kinds of free stuff on there for you if you want to learn more about how to sing. And in fact, I have up there right now a further explanation of how to sing high notes, and some really great tips, kind of tips that the pros use on there. So just for stopping by there, howtosing.com, you can click the link below to get there as well. I'll give you that video for free. So anyway, I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you at howtosing.com.